Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Joe and Jay Outspoken. You can see all of our social media platforms at linktree/Joe and Jay Outspoken. This week's episode is some questions that have been gathered over a few weeks. We finally checked our in mail.
Probably longer than a few weeks there, Jay.
Yeah, so we apologize about slacking it on checking our email and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's. You ready, Joe? Let's get this ball on the road.
Born ready, brother. I was born ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This week, once again, we are going to be going over some question and answers, hopefully.
Can we go for honest answers, Jay, please?
Yeah, we're going to do honest answers.
Please, thank you. I know your life. I will buzz you if you're lying.
Yeah, got the red little buzzer deal over there. So last week, just to kind of rewind for a second, last week's episode, we had the decision to say or not say anything about, recent events a couple weeks ago that happened to our potential next president
47th president.
Yeah, and we didn't really want to say anything. So, and it's perfect that we're going to do a Q&A session this week because we had somebody bring up the question, hey, what do you guys think about the recent attempted assassination of former President Trump? So, well, Joe, I guess I'll throw it out there first. I think it was a sad day in history. This hasn't happened very many times. We've only had, a few presidents that have actually been assassinated. Here's a crazy thing with it. The only one that's was not a Republican that was assassinated was actually John F. Kennedy. Yeah. And the rest of them were, it kind of starts to point towards a weirdness that, why is it always the Republican, or in John F. Kennedy's case, he was very right of left, and going against the establishment. And the thing is, most of the people, the kids that are out there protesting and all that, they're anti-establishment. And what's funny is if you look at it, the mainstream media is on the left side. The big corporations, Apple, Microsoft, Target, all these companies are all on their side. How do they feel that they are anti-establishment when they are running with the establishment bulls down the road, So I don't know. Seems weird to me. I feel horrible that somebody that was attending, they were having a good time and lost their life. Somebody else got, I think 2 more people got injured from what I've seen so far. That was another reason we didn't want to say anything about it on our last episode. Stuff was coming in so fast, and the media put out some fake stuff. CNN put out that he fell on stage, basically like a Joe Biden moment. Our local newspaper, the AZ whatever, AZ Republic, is that what it is?
Yeah.
They put that he dropped to the ground and had to be left the stage because he heard loud noises. And it's like, wow, you people, reporting on stuff so false so quickly is it's bad journalism. Joe and I are not journalists. We do this as a, just an outlet. We have fun. We've been buddies forever. We barbecue, and this is the kind of stuff we talk about. And that's what that's how we started this whole deal up. Was we said, hey, let's start a podcast about stuff we just talk about all the time anyway. So okay, I'll throw it back at you. What do you think about the whole deal?
What's funny, me and my baby mama were talking about this, and you'll be happy to hear this. She is a total conspiracy theorist. She thinks that the government was involved some way or another. Um,
Give him a
I'm
tin
not.
hat.
I'm not. Yeah. And I'm like, really? You or that? But she's a really smart, intelligent person. But I feel like I could almost agree with her. I don't agree with her a lot, but I feel like I almost can, only because there's just so many questions left behind from that. If you recall, like some of the things that were coming out at that time were very skewed, right? We didn't know what was happening.
Right.
But then more information is coming out. The director of Secret Service, she had to answer some of these questions, and these
Oh,
questions were
yeah.
weird. Like the answers she gave, like so apparently, I saw these videos, and they were all over social media, that that people they saw this guy crawling on this roof, right, with a rifle, and
Yeah.
they're like calling the attention. They're calling attention. No one's really focusing on it, and I guess like a minute and something passed before they reacted to it, and that was only after he shot. Um,
Right.
and then I guess one of the questions that was brought to her was, why wasn't there Secret Service on those roofs? And I think her response was, well, the incline on those roofs were made it unsafe, but yet there was Secret Service on a roof that was a similar incline, if not steeper.
It was steeper. It
Yeah,
was actually steeper. Yeah. Somebody
and I'm
brought that up.
thinking,
They're
wait
like,
a minute, what do you?
yeah.
So I that's why it kind
She failed geometry class.
clearly, bro, clearly. You can even measure that with a compass. You know what I mean? Get a little compass. Remember the one with
Right.
the pencil that you do little circles with?
Yeah.
But I think the point that I agree with her is, like, there's more to the story,
Oh,
and
yeah.
here's my thing. It is where I stand, whether I'm conservative or not, whether I'm Republican. As a human being, as a member of our society, it's just a sad day when you have to resort to this kind of violence for a political
Right.
opponent. You know what I mean? And like this should never have happened. And the people that I blame, and I'm going to be honest, and the people I blame is social media and the networks, man.
Yeah. 100%.
They're out there spewing all this hate. Social media platforms are allowing this hate to be spewed, and these are going to be the results. You can't
Right.
allow things like that and on your platform and say, nothing negative is going to come of it. Someone's going to build up some anger towards it. When you have enough people saying he's a Nazi or he's this or he's that, he
Right.
hates this race or that race, something's going to trigger someone. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it happened, and now there's no accountability. So that's
Right.
the thing that saddens me, is that we've come to this, and we should have never gotten this far. So that's my opinion. Again, this is more of a opinionated podcast. So your opinion doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
that's my
That's
thought.
right.
Food for thought.
Yeah, I agree, man. And the other thing, I heard another guy. He was not involved in this whole thing, but he had been a special ops operator, and he was talking about. He said, "Listen, without all the himself, he said, without having all the information, I'm going to tell you right now, those guys were probably, because they had headsets on, and they were probably like, hey, we see a guy on the other roof. Is that somebody from one of the local, like, is it local SWAT? Is it local police? Is it our guys? Is it, those guys pretty much know who their guys are, right? Because they know what buildings
Right.
and wherever they're posted up and all
And
that.
I'm sure
kind
none
of
of them
stuff.
had shorts on.
None of them had shorts and a
Or long hippie
demolition
hair.
ranch.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, no.
So
That was
yeah.
that was like Jay in the 80s right there. You know what I mean?
80s. Yeah,
90s.
I guess it was.
80s, 90s.
Wow,
hey, bro,
man.
we graduated
late,
90s.
late, very late 80s.
Here we go. Let's emphasize on the late.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's like if you live in a town and the west side of the town's better, you always say
west side, the west side.
Yeah, west.
All right. One street over from the east
Yeah,
side.
one street.
Yeah, but it's one street's major.
But it's much better.
Yeah.
So,
but you're right though. There was also a congressman who happened to be a sniper in the military who said, "I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this." And so clearly, I'm hoping there's more to come. As you can see right now, there's still a lot of stuff in the air. Nothing's really gotten updated last week. So
I don't think we're going to find it all out. Really,
Nah.
I think it's going to kind of be swept under the rug. Especially, some of the things that were said was this sealed his presidency. Basically, he's going to be the president now.
you know what's funny is that you and I were talking before we started coming on here about people are saying that he did this to himself to get that publicity.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm like, okay, you're talking about a 20-year-old at 150 yards at a moving target, and Trump's going
right.
to say, "Look, bro, just shoot my ear. Just shoot my ear. Don't get any closer than that." But man, these
Yeah,
people really are ridiculous, man. I'm
yeah.
like,
So Joe and I have been best friends forever. We've known each other since 8th grade. So what, we were 12, 13 years old or whatever. We're both pretty good shots when it comes to, and I wouldn't do 50 yards with an apple on my head and have him shoot it off. And I trust this guy implicitly. So yeah,
so many things could go wrong.
There's no way that he's like, oh yeah, go ahead. This will be great publicity for me. Just go ahead and shoot and just take a little bit of the ear off or whatever. It's like,
wow,
wow,
it's just ridiculous.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I'm never shocked with new things that come up from
Oh,
the
yeah,
left
society.
side, bro.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
society in general is kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny there. So, admittingly, people that are on the conservative side of the fence are typically more of your conspiracy theorist people, and so now the people on the left get to see what it feels like to, try to experience being conspiracy theorists on things. But the thing is, you need to do both sides of it and understand that there's not always a clear answer to everything. And in my opinion to this, I mean, we'll cut this out and get to the next question, but I don't think we're ever going to get solid answers on it. It's
No.
look at Kennedy's assassination. A president was assassinated, and it's doubtful the guy that did it, and all this, and the gun, and
that was a hit.
Yeah, exactly. And
I trust it. I trust this investigation as much as I trust Joe Biden riding a bicycle, bro. It's not going to happen. Not very much.
Man. All right. Well, the next one here's we'll get a little funner here for a second. So,
all right. Lay it on me.
We see you guys with different kind of drinks on the show. So, what is your favorite drink? And that's the question. So I don't know if that means just regular or does that mean alcoholic drink? What does that mean?
Encompasses all. Let's go encompasses
it all.
Let's do non-alcoholic and alcoholic.
Okay.
I know your alcoholic drink. I know yours.
So on the show, this is what I'm normally drinking, and it's literally water. I take the here they are, right here. Because this gets in my way. I don't like it. So
that big nose of his.
But yeah, just just water. I'd say as far as regular drink, I'd say probably iced tea, non-sweetened, just regular iced tea. My mom's side of the family is from the South, and I grew up drinking iced tea my whole life. Now, when I was young, it was sweet tea, and as I've gotten older, I try to stay away from the sugary
diabetes
stuff so much. So yeah, I try to stay away from the liquid diabetes. But I'd love me some sweet tea still. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that'd probably be it. What's your favorite just regular drinky drink?
My regular drink, I don't drink soda and stuff like that. And I drink like those like Powerade and Gatorade. I drink those only if I'm outside and been sweating a lot. But for the most part, I just drink water. I don't drink enough of it, and so I've forced myself to drink a lot of it nowadays. So as you get older, your body doesn't like too much to do energy drinks. And this would be the second. The number one, coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
I'm
definitely
an
for you. I would say coffee.
Drinker. I could drink that morning, evening, night. I drink that all the time. Right before bed, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I like coffee, but I'll go weeks without having any coffee at all. And then
that's bad. It's in the Bible.
You and I get together, or when my mom visits or what have you, it'll be coffeeing it up every morning.
Those are pots.
Yeah.
When I was when I came down from Michigan and I stopped at your mom's, there was like 2 pots. Just 2 pots.
Oh yeah. They'll burn through them pretty quick.
I remember she goes, "Do you want some coffee?" I had just gotten there. She goes, "You want some coffee?" I'm like, what? Is that a question?
You're
And of
singing
course,
my tune.
and of course, you know what came after that, right?
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy and bacon, baby.
Man, I still hate you for that morning.
I sent you pictures.
Yeah, I know you did, you punk. I'm sitting there at work going, dang it.
I hate him.
Joe's up there having biscuits and gravy. Mom, how dare you?
How dare you, Mom?
All right. All right. So then what would be your favorite alcoholic drink?
Okay, so I'm going to do two. My alcohol as far as beer. So my favorite go-to beer all the time is Modelo. I drink beer. So I'm more going to like I like breweries. When I was in Michigan, I enjoyed going to the breweries. You know, my buddy Will up there. That's all we did. Would go to breweries and try different stuff. And I really got into like the hazy IPAs. So that would be my second beer is a hazy IPA, and then of course my Modelo, which is more of a lager, real light, very light lager. As far as like liquor, rum and coke. I smoke cigars, so kind of goes with my rum and coke.
Yeah, and that's a good one. You know me. I'm like all into the tiki thing, and rum and coke is kind of that's not really a tiki drink, but it's kind of the basics of it because it's a rum based.
There's a lot of rum in tiki drinks.
Yeah,
but I know you and your old fashioned though.
Yeah, I would. Over time, like I'm not really a beer person anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of
mature
heartburn out of that.
Gives me heartburn nowadays. Old age sucks, bro.
Yeah, you get all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the like actual liquor drinks that I would probably my top 3 would be old fashioned, martini, extra dirty martini, and
you're such a dirty girl.
Probably a mule, Moscow Mule.
Hey, what do you think about those drinks that at my daughter's birthday?
Oh, the bartender was and it was your son's girlfriend, right?
Yep,
that had set up the menu and all that.
She's a very known bartender up in San Diego area, and she actually created those drinks.
And
her friend, the bartender, so she had to kind of coach her on how to do them. Yeah, man, but that coffee one, blue.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that whole thing was really great.
Yeah, shout out to her. Good job, thank you. Shout out to her.
And the thing I think I graduated to years ago, but I really don't do it that much. Would be just red wines, specifically Cabernets.
I knew you were about the wines.
I know.
I knew I lost you to the dark side.
On the cheap side, I tell you what, if you've never had a Josh Cabernet, for the price, you can't beat it. Probably my favorite, like Cabernet, favorite wine would probably be, it's called Stag's Leap. And there was one called Fay, which was my favorite. If not, there's one called Artemis. It's really good. So anyways, that's it for drinks.
Do you do crackers and cheese with those?
I'm cheesy enough, and I'm all the cracker you need, man. That's it. So.
I didn't say that, by the way, guys. That wasn't me. I'm not a wine guy.
That was
so
the cheesiest crackery joke ever. Dad joke, right?
If I'm going to do wine, I'm going to do the Snoop Dogg 19 Crimes. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, 19 Crimes. Oh, you know the labels?
Yeah.
They like talk to you.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Really?
No?
I haven't seen that. No. You're going to have to put that up there. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to. You do like they have an app on the phone and
oh, no way.
You point it towards the label and the label starts talking. It's like a VR kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet you have to.
Every one of them's.
It's Snoop Dogg, so you probably have to get high to do it.
Yeah, and it's all the 19 Crimes labels.
Oh, is it really?
All of them.
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
I'm going to have to check that out.
All right, so next question.
Here we go.
When have you grown the most in your life, and what caused that growth?
Are we talking physical? Because
well, What
I think
caused
the
that
most
growth?
I've grown was probably middle school, and I stopped growing then.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of good and eating when I was younger got me to grow a lot. So, um, I don't know. I would say mistakes, like, just doing and messing up and figuring out, don't do that again, and moving on, not being afraid to, take a chance and take a jump, take a leap, whatever. And, calculated risk. I guess that would be the thing I would say. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
helped me grow the most uh, through time. And then there has been spurts in my life, and I think now in the last, I don't know, probably less than 10 years, but close to a decade now, has been my faith. Like, it's really
Good.
helped me grow more as a person, and you know have faith in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
man, it's really tough to, geez, there's so much going on. And it seems like in the last 3 to 4 years, it's been just like super chaos. I mean, we went from great economy, pretty peaceful world to, man,
Chaos.
dumpster fire everywhere,
Chaos everywhere. Yeah.
and there's a common denominator for all that. So we won't go into that. But
Yeah.
so what do you think, man? What's your
I think the most I've grown in my life, I want to say, probably has been in the last few years, probably the last 5 years, as I
yeah.
get older. And it's good in some ways and sad in others. That sometimes you have to be in your 50s to figure life out sometimes, or just grow. Not that
Right.
you're you could be successful in so many things in your aspects of your life, but the important things sometimes are not. You're not in tune with those. And
Yeah.
I think what the biggest cause of that growth, I'm gonna have to agree with you, is been my faith. I didn't have it, then I got it. I had it when I was a kid because I was forced into it, and I was being a
Mhm.
Catholic. Kind of grew out of it in my middle years, and then forgot about it, and then I had my issues with it, and then I just separated from it, and then here my latter years, I've kind of gone back and revisited it and kind of see it through new lenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think my biggest growth has been in the last few years, because that's when, again, I've reconnected with my religion, my Christianity, and it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I think I'm the rest of it is irrelevant and insignificant at this point, because this is the most important growth that I've done, and it's because of my belief system. So that I think that's it, really. On that one.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah.
Very. I bet whoever asked that question didn't imagine it was going to be that deep.
I know. They're like, bro, we're just asking like simple questions, bro. You gotta get
This
crazy.
is going to be.
Look,
Yeah,
say we're gonna be honest, man.
These guys are going to be funny, and we got
It
all
didn't make
serious.
us cry. Whatever. You asked for this.
Well, the next one's kind of in line with that. What motivates you to get up in the morning? And are you driven by relationships, money, success, etc.?
That's a good question. Am I answering first or you?
Well, I was trying to think about what I was going to answer. I would say that the desire to be better every day, and everybody. So this is one of those things, every mid-month Wednesday we have um, Outspoken Men's Edition, and we talk a lot about these men's things. And I think a lot of guys out there, this is everybody has a driving factor, right? Some guys get up every day and grind for a job because they've got kids, family to take care of. They want to buy a house, new car, and it's money, not and success is a really wide thing. What is successful to you? Having a spiritual family, right? Grounded in the church, grounded in God. Um, Maybe you're not religious. Maybe it's just having a family that's healthy and well taken care of. Maybe your success is having a boat on the water and a couple 4-wheel drives in the garage, and that kind of thing. Maybe your success is being able to party all the time, take trips. Everybody's got maybe it's some dudes it's funny. I've worked with guys over the years, and they didn't have a penny to their name, but man, they were like the buffest dudes and like would work out every morning. And I'm like, if you would take that energy and put it towards a career, but
that much dedication into a career would
yeah,
give you
yeah,
profitability.
yeah, right. So, but no, but I say that I'm not knocking my need to get into the gym a little bit more myself, but um, I go to the kitchen gym usually.
I go to the gym. It's
When
a
I go to the
bar.
bar, it's called the food bar.
When I go to the gym,
But
it's a gym eatery. That's where I go eat.
gym eatery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna open a restaurant, call it Dumbbells.
Dumbbells. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so for some people, it's their relationships. That they get up it drives them every morning. Some people it's money. Some people it's possessions. Some people it's their faith in God and those kind of things. I think everybody has their own deal. Mine would probably be just me trying to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday, and get up and, I don't know. I feel like the day kind of wastes away. Every once in a while, I, do try to get an extra wink or two in, but
Yeah, very
for
important.
the most part, yeah. And that depends on how things have went for the, for the week. So
Yeah.
if you've had
Yeah.
day after day that you're staying up late, getting stuff done, and then getting up early, like, today was my day off, and I had to go down to a meeting. So, I mean, and early. So
Meeting of the belly buttons, or like
yeah,
a real meeting?
yeah, exactly. A real meeting.
Oh, okay.
Meeting of the belly buttons. Yeah. Yeah. So,
You know where that was going.
just things like that.
Yeah.
What do you think? What possesses you to get up every day and keep striving?
If you had asked me this question a few years ago, I'd have said, man, getting up in the morning, go make that money, and then go party. You know what I mean? Go have fun with friends, go, things like that. You ask me now what motivates me to get up in the morning. What motivates me is and my kids are grown and out and venturous, but I think what motivates me now to get up in the morning is being able to have that relationship with my children, like still, calling them and what are you guys doing, or texting them, sending them stupid memes from Star Wars and whatnot, and I think knowing that, you're still needed, or at least that feeling of being needed, motivates me, to be there for my children. Being absent in Michigan for, that time seemed like forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what motivates me now that I'm back, what motivates me is knowing that my kids are out there in the world making, putting their footprints in this world, and me being at their beck and call just in case they need something. I think that's what motivates me. That's what drives me to stay, like young, I'm in my 50s, but you can't tell, you know what I mean? But, I try. I think
50's the new 40.
50 the new 40. I think
Nine,
that's what
49.
40. Well, here we go. So so a lot of things have changed for me. And again, because of my views, money to me is a necessity to sustain yourself, to keep going, to help others, right? That might be needy. Success, I think I find success in having a successful family. I think that's my goal, is that my family's successful, and in turn, that labels me as a success. You know what I mean? And that's so that it's
good.
all encompassing: money, success, relationship. It's all in one for me, and I think that's important, to me, and that's what motivates me every morning.
Cool.
And the fact that fact that it gets really hot when the sun starts coming out. So,
And I think, again, going back to the word success, it's really that word encompasses different meaning for different people.
Mhm.
Most people equate success to having money, a big house on the hill, that kind of thing, and that's not always being successful. Um, there's people that make a lot of money and are not happy. I've said this over and over. If money and wealth and fame was the ultimate in happiness, then the Kardashians would have never gotten divorced.
Yeah.
They're
Well, bro,
famous and wealthy, and they just
dude,
they
we when I had my
go
restaurant,
through people like crazy.
remember when I had my restaurant? I was
Yeah,
making money out the yin yang, but that I think was like the topper that just dismantled my relationship with my baby mama. It's just so stressful. So all that money led to nothing. I mean,
right. Yeah.
happiness, none of that.
See,
You're too busy.
so that wasn't success.
No, that's not success.
That was money, but
Yeah, but you don't. I think the way we view things, we encompass everything: relationships, money, success, into not those items per se but what they represent. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
it's a broader spectrum than just the word is success in itself. I think success is in the eye of that person and what you call success. So,
Right.
like me being able to sit down in a chair without breaking it, that's success for me. You know what I mean? Me being able to finish a beer without getting heartburn or pizza without getting heartburn, that is success, my friend. Success.
Breaking chairs, that's the new personal growth. You don't even know.
I don't like leaving big old button impressions on my chairs. That's success when you don't do that.
Yeah, right.
That's some good foam right there.
Yeah, that's why I only sit on wood chairs, man. Wood or steel. That's it.
But you start hearing
All
creaking,
right.
you got to go. You got to go.
Gotta go. That rung's breaking. All right. Next question. What do you think about dating and relationships?
What's up with all these personal questions?
Hmm.
You guys mind your business. That's what y'all need to do is mind your business.
Mind your own business.
Mind your business.
So,
just kidding.
Today's climate, I think, is really weird. So, you know me, I use analogies a lot to kind of comparative things.
Mm-hmm.
And so dating now, for the most part, I don't think most people are dating on a personal basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not meeting at a bookstore, at a mall, or at the church, or at a bar. They're meeting online. That's a big way people.
I was going to say
date now. And
people meet that way still in bars and restaurants.
Yeah,
and,
well, I don't think
No.
exactly. I don't think they do. Yeah, so it's kind of like me being from the whole band scene when we were younger,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you had a record or a cassette, that was huge because it was very, very difficult to get a recording of
You
your
were
band
validated.
done. You were validated. Yeah. It was very difficult to get that done. So very few people had them, right? And a music video, forget about it. Like that was
Unheard of.
non-existent,
Yeah.
So if you had those things, you stood out in the crowd, right? But very difficult to get. Dating was like more like that. There was fewer people. If you were at a bookstore or something, you ran into somebody, you're only competing with the 9 other dorky guys that are in the bookstore. If you're at a club, you're only, the other 16 Marines that are at the club, whatever it is, right? That's all the people you're competing with. Now online, you are competing with, thousands of people in your, respective area. Again, going back to
in
that,
your 50-mile radius that you put.
in your 50, whatever, 50 miles. How far are you willing to drive to find the love of your life?
I do 50 miles. 50 miles. 50 miles. I'm gonna limit it to 50.
It's so funny because I think about that, and you look at people will put, nope, it's 20 miles. Well, what if at 35 miles is
your soulmate?
Your soulmate, your perfect partner. And
if he was my soulmate, he would have been at 20 miles. If he was my soulmate, he would have been at 20 miles. Maybe Jesus don't play. Maybe Jesus don't play like that. Yeah, I've never, like, it's funny because like me and my ex were like she lived in one town, I lived in a totally different town. I would have never known about her at all. But we met at my parents' business. She was just a cashier, and I happened to go down there one day to go, do what all guys my age who rides a motorcycle ask for money from mom, and I needed gas money. So I went down there and I saw this cashier, and I was just joking, man. I'm like, hey, what's her name? And that's all I did. What's her name?
What's up?
I'm like, hey, mom, what's her name? What's up? Hook it up, ma. And then she gave me the money and I took off. I didn't know, big deal. And of course, what did my mom do? Gave her my number and said, "Hey, my son." I'm like, "Really, mom?" Like,
Dang.
yeah, bro, I didn't even do it.
Mom put you on blast out there.
Mom, bro. I'm like, damn, mom. I was just like making a comment so you don't think I'm like I like men or something, But you just like you went straight up for the jugular. You weren't trying to hook it
Yeah.
up for me. Well, thank God that happened because I got 3 beautiful children from her. So, but yeah,
That's funny.
it was, bro. You're right. It's so different nowadays because like I don't know. To me, I think now I view things, bro. I don't know why I keep referring back to like my life now. I feel like maybe you could kind of comprehend this. I don't know about our viewers. If you're not like, I guess in our little circle of religion, like you see things and you're like, man, I'm like, it's like what they say, you're born again, right? You kind of see things now in a different light and a different
Yeah.
perspective. Like to me, dating relationships are so sacred now. Like to me, it's like it's not a hookup anymore. Like I'd rather be alone than just like I'm gonna get a hookup. It's just it's not in me anymore.
Right.
It's not what I'm looking for. And nowadays, it's just I think what I don't like about today's relationship, it's just so what's the term I'm trying to find? It's just so impersonal. It's not even personal
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
It's so impersonal. People just
Yeah.
like it's a fling. It's whatever. This is like my 5th date this week. Like
Right.
it's like you don't go out there and just like try. You're out there just trying to get the hook up, and like things have changed so much. And this is not the world that I want my kids to be raised in.
No.
I want them to have a little self-respect for themselves because I have a daughter and I have boys. So self-respect for themselves, and then for the course the person they're with. And I feel like if you start that way, it's not going to end right. Like it's
Yeah.
and the thing is, people don't care. People don't
Right.
care. Like girls are out for one thing, men are out for another. It's like there's no like, that book, men are for Mars, women are for Venus or vice. I don't know how it is, but it makes sense.
Dr. John Gray.
It makes sense now. Like it's like we are not. We could be. We're worlds apart, and like
Absolutely.
we don't try to find.
It's always been like that.
Right, but we don't try. But when we were like that, and when we dated, we tried to associate some kind of common ground. We tried to have and establish a relationship where it's give and take. You know what I mean? It's 60-40, right? Sometimes you're given 40%, sometimes you're given 60%, right? It's just give and take. Now it's like, well, what do you bring to the table? Here's a list of my demands. Do you you don't fit that, you don't fit, it's not gonna work. Like you don't even give it a chance. Like you have this prerequisite, and if you don't meet this prerequisite, you're done. You don't even get a chance. Like how lame is that, bro? How lame is that?
Well, it seems like more and more society is creating that checkbox thing. We talked about stuff with DEI, if you don't meet all these check boxes, and that's what we've done with dating. Dating's a form of different kinds of DEI, basically, that but it's not diversity, right? It's I specifically want these things. And so which is fine because we all have preferences and such, but
I like them tall.
Yeah.
Which is every girl. Don't laugh, bro. You're on my side.
That's all right. That's all right.
You hurt my feelings. Just kidding. I
have the little feelings.
The
little feelings.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's things have changed so much because of that. Because of the just insincerity of everything, I guess you'd say. I mean, take it back to when we were, especially when we were in high school. It was very difficult to get a phone number, right? Because there's no such thing as cell phones. So you had to call a phone number that potentially mom or dad was going to pick up the phone.
I was so scared when dad answered the phone.
Right? Can I talk to Patricia or whatever?
Good afternoon there, Mr. Smith. May I speak with your daughter?
Who is this?
Yeah. Hang up.
I'm gonna find you.
Did you? And then your girlfriend the next day. Did you call and hang up?
Nope, wasn't me. Wasn't me. So now you remember being on the phone, and they had another phone in the other part of the house, and you hear somebody pick up and like,
Hang
"Are you
up.
still on the phone? Hang on the phone. I gotta call Myrtle. I gotta call her. She's gonna tell me your pie recipe.
I gotta call your grandmother. Hang that phone
I
up.
gotta call."
You had that phone.
Hang that
You had
phone up.
you had that phone line stretched from
wire.
the kitchen all into your bedroom or the living room.
It's all out of.
Everybody's tripping over the freaking handset wire.
It's like, oh man. Okay, now it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and were you ever falling asleep on the phone because you didn't want to hang up?
Yeah.
So
I used to get yelled at for that.
Kids nowadays, right? Young people they're never going to experience that. They're never going to, because that's right, because they're texting, so that connection of talking and getting to know one another, even though you're not physically there, you're still talking to them. And see, and our parents would say, well, those dang kids, all they did was talk on the phone. We actually had to go down and meet each other and hang out and stuff like that, So every generation, it's getting worse. That divide is becoming greater and greater. And pretty soon it's going to be like, we're just going to let AI decide who's the best companions for each other.
Crazy.
And
not
right?
Like, it was funny because before AI, people were communicating with memes. I mean, they still do, but like that's crazy. Like you found out so much by talking to someone on the phone. Like I still like, why don't people talk more? Like, it, to me, I feel like I talk too much, and but we've lost that. We've lost that connectivity. Now it's like, I get it, the whole standards and stuff. That women come in, I get it. I get what you're trying to look for, but here's the thing: like, if I'm asking a girl, like, this is what I want, blah 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 blah, I mean, I have to be willing to accept what she wants. You know what I mean? I can't demand these things and not give up a little ground. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird because, like, to me, you shouldn't have demands. You should just get to know each other first, talk to each other, not just text. And I think relationships are important. I think now more than ever, they should be based on some solid foundation, though. I think more than anything, and not sexual nature. I mean, clearly that comes in a relationship. I understand it. I get it. But I think that there should be some standards. And I think it's sad because men have stopped being gentlemen and women have stopped being ladies. And now it's just like, hey, want to go
100%.
You want to go 50-50? I'm like, like, man, I used to, like, I had to work extra jobs just to be able to take, my baby mama out. Like, and but that's what I did. You did it because you wanted to impress them. You wanted to see, like, and it wasn't like those dates where you're like, oh, it's cool. Like, this person is the one. I'm going to, show her that I could sustain her and the family and blah, blah, blah. We've gone away from that, and it's sad because kids don't open doors anymore. They don't hold doors open. They don't get up for the elderly. They don't. I don't know. This could go into a whole new different thing, but I think we answered this question. We beat it to death. Let's go to the next one. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I don't like relationships. That's weak.
Well,
Just kidding.
This will probably be the last question, but this is a good one. Are you an introvert or an extrovert,
bro? I think people watching the show already know that answer.
Well, for me, I am a extroverted introvert.
I don't even know what you just said. I don't even know what you just said. You've done confused me now.
Because
I don't want to talk to him.
So
I don't know what that means.
That's the introvert in you. So I've had jobs where I had to get in front of, I actually spoke at a city deal and there was like 600 people and I got up on a podium and had to speak to a bunch of people. And I remember getting off, the podium and coming down.
I'm
and
glad you explained that because you paused at a very bad spot. I remember getting off. I'm like, this is not one of those shows.
Yeah. I didn't have anybody shooting at me either, so that was really good.
That's a positive thing.
Yeah, that was a positive thing. I wasn't.
I would have shot your ear if you wanted me to. I'm pretty good.
I would have. I wouldn't even held the apple out. I mean, like, I value my hands.
We get the
too,
point,
so
Jay.
We get the point.
I was gonna miss. I get it. No trust. Jay.
No trust. Yeah. So anyways, I get off the podium and everybody's like, were you nervous? I was like, no, I didn't. I mean, because for almost 5 years, no, it was longer than that, probably like 6 years. Every Saturday, I had to do 2 sales meetings
Mhm.
and in front of the minimum 40 to 50 people every Saturday. And I had to come up with content and, motivational stuff for sales teams and everything. So,
Well,
um,
you're a content creator.
but if it was up to me, I don't want to, I'd rather be away from people, man, and go hang out, solo
So you're
and
a little bit of both.
like, yeah,
No, I
yeah, I don't like people.
yeah, no, I've lost faith in humanity. I
Yeah,
look both
yeah,
ways on a one way road, bro. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Yeah. No.
And it's tough because, in, um, like when we go to church and such,
Mhm.
part of our whole thing is to be out there and talk to people
Love thy neighbor.
yeah, and not when people hear religion or Christianity or what have you, and talking to people, they think of
It's a taboo,
like
bro. Such a taboo.
like the Mormons, they go
Oh yeah.
to door, on their little bikes and their white shirts and everything. That's not us. That's not what we do. But we're there for you, and we'll share, our. I mean, I always say my very limited knowledge of what I know about. We learn every day. I mean, we're totally learning every day, and even the best biblical scholars will tell you we don't know everything. We got a lot of stuff to learn, but yeah. So I would
We
consider myself actually an introvert more than an extrovert.
yeah.
However, so at a party, I can be in the mix and talk to everybody, but I'd kind of rather be in the corner eating chips and salsa. There you go.
Hey, bro, you were so specific. You'd rather sit in a corner and eat anything. That is really chips and salsa. All of a sudden, yeah. Well, me,
Well, that's normally what they have at parties.
Yeah.
Is like chips and salsa or
The
something simple.
Tostitos and paste pecan sauce,
Chips and cheese.
chips and cheese. I think
Queso.
I think, and again, I don't know why. I for the longest time extrovert, bro. Center of the party. Love to be the center of jokes, and I was the one that made parties. You know what I mean, bro? I was the
Yeah. What did you in our annual? You were like class clown or something. What were you?
I think it was class clown. Yeah,
Were you?
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
most likely to succeed. Wasn't that one? I think it was a class clown. It was class clown. It was a class clown. That was what me and who else was it? I can't remember. I think it was Brooke. That it was me and Brooke, class clowns. And
Oh yeah.
remember?
It was. I remember because
Yeah.
you guys were.
because we were
That was at the fountain that doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
yeah because
yeah.
someone almost died. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
broke their arm.
So all the way up until I realized what I was losing, I became now I'm more of an introvert. Like I like my isolation. I like my alone time. I like just doing things I've always liked doing things by myself. Like I've always enjoyed going to the movies by myself, going to a bar and relaxing by myself. I've never really like needed people. But I've enjoyed it. I enjoy people's company. I'm not one of those people like, oh God, this person's here. I enjoy people's company. I like to talk. I like to interact. But now I see that I'm more introverted than anything. I like to just like be by myself. I like to kind of draw myself away, not in a negative way, but like I like and value my quiet time, my peace time, my
Yeah.
most people like to say their meditation time. It's just to me it's great. And
Yeah.
and I like it. And a lot of people, like you said, you were talking a little bit about religion. You talked a little bit about the Mormons, our brothers, the Mormon. They go around and knock on people's door. I think one of the things that I've been learning is that that we can teach people by living in that example. You know what I mean? Being a
Mhm.
good person, loving our neighbors, doing the
Right.
right thing. I think living that way is a good teacher, and I think that's what our religion expects us to live in that word and not just talk about it and be
Right.
hypocrite. So I think that's why I become more of an introvert, where I'm kind of isolated, but when I'm around, I try to be a better person. So I've swapped. There's so many things now. Now that we should go into some kind of therapy session now, because all these conversations all these questions just made me think like, man, ever since I've changed a lot. So good questions. Whoever's out there asking them, thank you. Now I'm going to go over there and meditate about all these psychological problems I just realized I had.
Yeah. Join us next week for our psych session. Joe
Or
will be
Joe's
on the couch,
admitted,
and
or Joe's admitted.
we're going to be on the psychologist couch. You know, the little chair
Oh,
that's
that'd be awesome.
sitting
Yeah,
there
we should do that.
asking us questions
Yeah.
about our childhood and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Or sit on that couch and have like a Maury Povich come out. The results
You
are
are
in.
not the father.
You are not the father. I'm like, damn it. There goes my taxes.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks once again for joining us for another fun episode. Thanks for all the questions that you guys sent in. Really awesome.
Sorry we can't get to the rest of them.
Yeah.
We will next time.
Yeah, we'll have to. We got some scheduled for next week, but yeah, we'll do another question and answer session once we pile up enough of them. And yeah, we'd love to see you guys back here. We're here every Tuesday with Joe and Jay Outspoken, and every mid-month Wednesday we have men's edition. We just had that this last Wednesday. Yeah. So, all right, everybody, take care of one another.
Do better, be better.
And as always,
God bless America.
America.
We'll see you.